Mahabharata, Adi Parva, Āstïka Parva, Section 30. Soti said, at the very touch by Garuda, of great might, with his feet, the branch of the tree broke, as it was caught by Garuda. Casting his eyes around in wonder, he saw Vālakhilyas rishis hanging therefrom with heads downwards and engaged in ascetic penances, reflecting that if the bough fell down, the rishis would be slain. That mighty one held the elephant and the tortoise still more firmly with his claws, and from fear of slaying the rishis and desire of saving them, held that bough in his beaks and rose on his wings. The great rishis were struck with wonder at the sight of that act of his, which was beyond even the power of the devas, and gave that mighty bird a name. And they said, as this ranger of the skies rises on its wings, bearing a heavy burden, let this foremost of birds, having snakes for his food, be called Garuda, bearer of heavy weight. And shaking the mountains by his wings, Garuda leisurely coursed through the skies. And as he soared, with the elephants and the tortoise in his claws, he beheld various regions underneath, desiring as he did to save the Vālakhilyas. He saw not a spot whereon to sit. At last he went to that foremost of mountains called Gandhamadana. There he saw his father Kashyapa engaged in ascetic devotions. Kashyapa also saw his son, that ranger of the skies, of divine form, possessed of great splendor and energy and strength, and endued with the speed of the wind or the mind, huge as a mountain peak, a ready smitter like the curse of a Brahmana, inconceivable, indescribable, frightful to all creatures, possessed of great prowess, terrible, of the splendor of Agni himself, and incapable of being overcome by the deities, Danavas, and invincible Rakshasas, capable of splitting mountain summits and sucking the ocean itself and destroying the three worlds, fierce and looking like Yama himself. The illustrious Kashyapa, seeing him approach and knowing also his motive, spoke unto him these words. Kashyapa said, O child, do not commit a rash act, for then thou would have to suffer pain. The Vālakhilyas, supporting themselves by drinking the rays of the sun, might, if angry, blast thee. Sati continued. Kashyapa then propitiated, for the sake of his son, the Vālakhilyas of exceeding good fortune, and whose sins had been destroyed by ascetic penances. And Kashyapa said, Ye whose wealth is asceticism, the essay of Garuda is for the good of all creatures. The task is great that he is striving to accomplish. It behooves you to accord him your permission. Sati continued. Those ascetics, thus addressed by the illustrious Kashyapa, abandoned that bow and went to the sacred mountain of Himavan for the purpose of ascetic penances.